How to play in Pauper tournaments at your local game store and online in leagues. A guide. As the Pauper format continues to grow and expand, Pauper Leagues have been implemented on Magic Online, and more Paper Pauper comes to game stores near you. This video will discuss what Pauper Leagues are and how you can join them, and also how you might help bring Paper Pauper to a game store near you. If you have not yet seen my video explaining the Pauper format, which is one of the best budget formats in Magic the Gathering, you may do so here, as well as see some deck tech videos here and here. Let's begin with Magic Online. What are Pauper Leagues? Considering top-tier competitive Pauper decks can be built for $10 to $20 online, and that Magic Online only has a one-time $10 fee, it's no wonder that Pauper has a large, thriving Magic Online community. Wizards of the Coast recently opened Pauper Leagues, and they are probably one of the best reasons to play Magic Online. A Pauper League is a lot like a play-at-your-own-pace major event. There are a total of 5 matches, but you do not have to play these matches back-to-back or even on the same day. You select the deck you wish to enter with, and then the system will pair you with an opponent on the same or a similar level as you. You compete in your match like you would any other, playing to best out of 3. But when that match is over, win or lose, you now have the option of either playing in the next round of 5 immediately, or waiting before you begin looking for your next opponent. Leagues are great for this reason alone. To play 5 matches back-to-back in a major event can often take a huge slice of your day. For those of us with work, school, families, or just short attention spans or small bladders, being able to essentially pause as you progress is a stroke of sheer genius and convenience, and this makes Magic Online, well, utilize the fact that it is online, and it's one of the things you can't do in a paper event. How do you enter? Entry is simple. Once you have a Pauper deck, select Play Lobby from the main menu bar, then choose a game type by selecting Constructed Tournaments, and then, under Choose How Your Event Begins, select Leagues. You will see the option for a Pauper 5-match league appear. Click on this and you'll be brought to the league screen. Simply select Join League, select the deck you wish to enter the league with, and you're ready to go. The entry cost is either 8 event tickets or 80 play points. The better you do, the better your prizes are, with the top prize being 2 boosters of the current set and 150 play points and 3 qualifier points. And as I've already said, the best thing about the leagues is that you do not have to play the rounds all in a row back to back. So after one round, you can either move on to the next or wait as long as you like before you begin the next round. In a sense, playing in the Magic Online Pauper League is like being able to play in a full 5-round Pauper tournament whenever you want. But what if you want to play Pauper in paper and at your local game store? Playing Pauper at your local game store. If your local game store doesn't yet have weekly Pauper tournaments, don't give up hope. Most game stores want to run the events that their customers want to play in and want to pay to play in. So if there's not already a Pauper event at your game store, the first thing you need to do is ask. In fact, many game stores will run an event with prize support for whatever format 8 players are interested in playing in. So a great thing you can do before you ask is check to see if there's other players you know that might like to play Pauper in an event at your store. Since Wizards of the Coast doesn't currently have an official Paper Pauper ban list, the best thing to do is to go buy Magic Online's Pauper Legality, with a few minor additions. This means that a Paper Pauper deck should allow any card that is listed at common on Gatherer. This includes cards whose rarity has changed from or to uncommon in other sets. As long as a card has been printed in common in a major set, it is Pauper legal. This should also include cards printed at common on Magic Online only sets, such as Vintage Masters. Again, to ensure the Pauper environment works as well in paper as it does online, you are going to go by the online legality. If it is listed as common on Gatherer, then it is legal in Pauper, with the exception of a slightly expanded ban list for paper. For Paper Pauper, there's a few additional bans that you should implement. This is because cards like High Tide and Hymn to Torok were never printed at common on Magic Online, and so have never officially been banned. Therefore, the ban list for a Paper Pauper event should be Cloud Post, Cranial Plating, Empty the Warrens, Frantic Search, Goblin Grenade, Grape Shot, High Tide, Hymn to Torok, Merchant Scroll, Invigorate, Sinkhole, Temporal Fissure, and Treasure Cruise. That is the ban list that is officially endorsed by Tolarian Community College for all Paper Pauper events, and I strongly recommend you adhere to it for the best results. So, let's say your local game store agrees to hold a Paper Pauper event, and you have a handful of interested participants. Don't forget to spread the word. I find an announcement that includes Pauper deck legality is an effective way to get people interested. Now, these are some Pauper adverts that I came up with on my own, and they explain what is legal and banned in a Paper Pauper event, and there's room at the bottom for you to add your store name and event times and address. So for example, at my local game store, Anime Imports, which now holds weekly Pauper events Saturdays at 5 p.m., the poster looks like this. So if you check the description, I'm actually going to include links to templates of these adverts. Feel free to download and add your game store info to post to your Facebook pages or tweet out to your followers, or maybe even just print up and post at your local game store to try and generate interest in these events so that, there's a good turnout. Or you can just create your own. Either way, the key to running and playing in Paper Pauper events at your local game store is first to ask and then to spread the word. It costs you nothing, and the worst that anyone can say is no. But imagine what happens if they say yes. And to any stores out there that are watching that are wondering why they should be hosting and promoting Pauper formats, let me just say that when we started hosting Pauper formats at my local game store, everyone went right up to the register with a giant list of buys of singles because they were building their Paper Pauper decks. And suddenly that giant library of unsellable old common cards that my local game store has been holding on to for years started selling and started moving. It's in everyone's best interest, player, store owner, and even Wizards of the Coast alike, for Pauper to take off. I hope very much to see you on Magic Online in the leagues, and maybe hear about Pauper at your local game store.
One of the biggest things that people don't realize, and definitely something that it took me a long time to learn, is when you're net decking, which is when you pull a deck list off the internet, and you just basically copy it. A lot of sideboards, you don't want to copy card for card, even if you're net decking, because the sideboard was built, that person built it with what they thought that tournament environment was going into it.